Welcome everyone, it's Evelyn from Twin Flames 3344. In front of you I have a union read for the masculine and the feminine twin flames, and I also have a divine masculine twin flame read today. It's just the divine masculine, so I'll have that right after I do the union read. I also got very interesting downloads today about the chakra system, so you might want to stay tuned about that, and we'll see how that goes. Just a little bit of clearing. It's April 23rd today, 2020. The 23 is the King of Wands, so that very passionate energy of the man of passion. And the day adds up to the 31, which is that 5 of Wands, so there could be some conflict, games, competition. You may get a little frustrated because that energy is here. We got a lot of Wands energy today. And also it's the expansion energy. So ultimately that's your goal there, is to be able to stay present in the expansion and not get triggered. It might be little stupid stuff that triggers you today, maybe. You know, nothing, doesn't have to be anything serious. But those energies are there, the King of Wands and the 5 of Wands. And let's see here. So, let's see where we're starting. Okay, so this is the union read. I did this morning at 8:39 to 40. 8 is the Strength card, and then we have 39 and 40, which is the Knight of Cups and the Page of Cups. It's a very loving energy. And we start out with for those of you who aren't familiar with my union read, we have the underlying energy up here. This is the closing card, the summary. We have the feminine energy, 3 cards coming in, 3 cards going out for the masculine. This is the feminine, this is the masculine, this is the bridge between, and then this is 3D, 4D, and 5D. Okay, so the underlying energies start with the Chariot card and then the middle card, okay, which is the 5 of Orbs in this deck, which is like the 5 of Swords, but it's very much like the frog turning into the human prince, right? He doesn't have a face yet, he's still forming, he has a green body, still he's not quite human yet, but he's getting there, okay? So that's the central energy for the day. So we have Chariot and then the frog prince of the 5 of Swords. Moving on up to the east side, finally got a piece of the pie, which is the message I was getting. Ascending to the top of the world in a growth spurt where the air is quite clear up here. I was then getting Devil's Peak. And the title there was Age Gate because the entry there, you had to be a certain age to go in that first entry online. But Devil's Peak came up. The first entry was a beer manufacturer, I believe, in South Africa, in Cape Town. And so the Cape Town mountains came up again today as well. But that's first that brewery came up. But then Devil's Peak is also one of the mountains there at Cape Town. Table Mountain is actually the biggest one. And then we have Devil's Peak. So you can walk up those mountains. The easiest, let's see here. So Table Mountain is at the foot of Cape Town, South Africa, and it's flanked by Devil's Peak to the left and Lion's Head to the right, which is smaller. Another Devil's Peak was coming up from California, and that one is on the divide between the Yuba and American River watershed, Tahoe National Forest. It's actually in Soda Springs, Tahoe area. And then there's another one that came up in Washington, U.S., Granite Falls, above, what is that one called? I think that one's called Devil's Tower, actually. It's really cool. It's like one huge rock. And it's above Devil's Lake. Ascends above the Devil's Thumb. And then there's another Devil's Pool that came up in Wissahickon, the Wissahickon area around me in the Philadelphia area, which was a watershed where all the treated waste goes, and people are swimming there regularly. So that was kind of interesting to see. That was a message, I think, from 2016 from Fox News or something. And Devil's Tower came up at Bear Lodge Butte in the Black Hills, northeast Wyoming. The rocks above the Belle Fourche, I'm not sure how it's pronounced, river. And then getting right into the underlying divine feminine energy. So anyway, the Devil's Peak, you get the idea. You know, there's a lot of energy of that in this read here, right? You have him, he's on a rock at the top of the sky, right? He's above the clouds. And then you have the Hermit as well. She's in a cave, or he or she is in a cave here. And then this is the Ace of Pentacles here, where the diamond is coming out of the big rock. I think there was another one too. Well, we'll get to that if there is a reference to the peak. So the underlying divine feminine energies coming into the read are these cards here: the Eight of Swords, the Seven of Swords, and then the Four of Wands. So hiding, passing downloads. I was getting, what did I write there? Either it's like you're hiding, or you may be the divine feminine hiding, passing downloads that may have been backed up from the home or union. So you may have received some downloads that you haven't been passing on. So it's like not receiving any new ones, but just passing on stuff that you've been collecting already. Or someone spying across the creek, watching downloads happen at home. Or that you may have protection actually of nature around you, which actually is telling you it's blocking the negative energies from getting to you, so you can send out those downloads that you're getting, to pass downloads, especially in the spring and the summer when you have a lot of bloom, you know, so that the nature is always natural protection for you. So anxiety about risky downloads or information bridging to home and or union, in the dance of between the masculine and the feminine, of the feminine within the masculine, and then coming into union, which is the Four of Wands, which is present again today. In the 3D, we have karma, the Six of Cups, and the Two of Cups, 3D here. And so the feminine side is the karma or judgment card, opening of the flower or crown, and the divine masculine with the Two of Cups in connection with the Queen of Wands above, and bridging between the feminine and the masculine via the Six of Cups, the inner children and the outer children. And that Six of Cups was significant in the divine masculine read today as well. So you bridge between the bridge between the masculine and feminine, even if the masculine's dealing with other feminine energies in his energy over here, you guys are connecting through your inner children right now, or actually it could be actual children as well. So the 4D is the Five of Pentacles, the Five of Swords, and the Queen of Wands. So the divine feminine in the Mary Magdalene cave, and the masculine in his feminine energy of drama and false light, perhaps bridged by the Five of Swords, the frog becoming the prince. So that's that war within, because he's growing, you know, that's peaking out in a growth spurt, juggling high above the clouds in the etheric realms. So just like you would think of a child having a growth spurt in high school, it's the masculine having a growth spurt in his downloads and ascension of his etheric body. So Devil's Peak is where the air is clear. So Devil's Hole ruins also came up here, which is Devil's Hole. It came up, it's a ruin in Cresco, PA, and it's under Atlas Obscura. So here Atlas came up again, 2020. So that was the website, Atlas Obscura. And they think it used to be an old ski lodge that was abandoned, or a speakeasy back in the day in like the 20s or 30s. Yeah. So they thought maybe there was a fire or flood in the mid-1950s that ended that hotel or whatever it was there. And there's a legend there that it was a bottomless lake, and that if you swam there, you went to hell. The lake was said to have disappeared after a large flood in 1955, and actually this read adds up to 55 at the end, so that 55, or the truth, is very significant here. And also it was a hunting area, so if you go up to look at it, you know, your urge to wear orange so you don't get shot by the hunters. So that's another reference to the devil here, is people hunting, abandoned resorts, speakeasy, perhaps where they were brewing alcohol when it was illegal. And then another resort came up that was abandoned too, Penn Hills Resort, which is abandoned. And it's only a couple hours from where I am, so that's kind of interesting. So at 936, which is the Hermit and then the Ten of Wands, we have the 5D of the reflection of the Hermit, the Queen of Swords at the top, and then the Six of Wands, where you see this top row across. The divine feminine reflecting as the Hermit within at home, and the Divine Masculine at the helm leading 5 other wands, bridged by the Queen of Swords with her hand on the truth trigger, lined up to expand. The Divine Feminine in the 3D with karma. And remember, it's not that you're really dealing with karma, because the feminine energy especially doesn't have karma, because we have like instant karma. You can't really get into any karma, because as soon as you do something you know isn't in your best interest, it comes right back to you. It can't linger. It's just spontaneous. So that's why there's no karma. And the masculine was still dealing with karma, but it's like his karmic cycle is ending now. So the 4D, for the feminine, the 3D was the karma or the judgment energy. It's called karma, but it's the judgment card. And then the 4D exile of the Mary Magdalene cave above the group who's in the dark. The cave has more light than the group down below in the dark, as the hermit is creating their own light as the feminine energy here. The Divine Masculine is seen here as the 2 of Cups and the Queen of Wands, with hands into everything, getting attention from the 5D community. So the masculine, who whatever work he's doing, may be starting to get attention for something new that he's doing, because it's in the 5D. Now the bridge for both of them is the 6 of Cups, 5 of Swords, and the Queen of Swords. The soulmates, the kids, and the frog becoming the prince, climbing a mountaintop to be with the Queen of Swords with her handle on the truth, right? Which is about us triggering each other, which is a good thing because it helps us clear each other. And the Divine Masculine juggling the Hermit and the Queen of Wands, getting attention for his inner feminine, allowing his true self to emerge. The Divine Feminine conserving her energy in order to allow for his growth. That's why we need to be still. Remember, it's darkest before the dawn and quiet before the storm. Okay? And then the outgoing energies for the Divine Masculine here, the Ace of Pentacles, the 8 of Wands, and then the 3 of Wands, is the new life. The diamond peeks out of the rock, the diamond in the rough, just like a baby needing to be washed off after they're born, right? The blood lining, its lifeline, they got it there, must now let it go and let it die. All right, so this was a great, I love how Spirit brought this message up for you guys, because it really makes you understand how important the people in the Divine Masculine's life are up till this point, okay? Because they're saying it's like the baby needing to be washed off after they've been born, of the blood lining that sustained them up to this point, right? It's the lifeline that got him here, because they actually delivered the masculine to where he can now be ready for the Divine Feminine, and now he must let it go and let it die. So that blood lining in the uterus after the baby's born has to now be shed and gotten rid of, okay? So the nutrition of the umbilical cord, also the circle of trust, in a whirlwind of misunderstanding, misaligned in arrows of love on a 3-hour tour, expressing feelings and energetic exchange, going around in circles. Where we end up, nobody knows. Ride a painted pony, let the spinning wheel spin. So the lyrics from Spinning Wheel from Blood, Sweat, and Tears came up. What goes up must come down. Spinning wheel, gotta go round. Talk about your trouble, it's a crying sin. Ride a painted pony, let the spinning wheel spin. You got no money and you got no home. Spinning wheel all alone. Talking about your troubles and you never learn. Ride a painted pony, let the spinning wheel turn. Did you find a directing sign on the straight and narrow highway? Would you mind a reflecting sign? Just let it shine within your mind and show you the colors of the rainbow that are real. Okay, so someone is waiting just for you. Spinning wheel, spinning through. Drop all your troubles by the riverside. Catch a painted pony on the spinning wheel ride. And then the lyrics are literally ha after that. And what do I tell you ha is? HA is 81, is the end of karma. In the numerology book, The Divine Triangle. All right, so ha is 81 because H is 8 and A is 1. And that's so funny, that's the last word in the song. And then it says, it just repeats that last line and says, instead of let the spinning wheel ride, it says let the spinning wheel fly, okay? So from songfacts.com, Carousel came up because the person who wrote that's the song from Spinning Wheel, David Clayton, he was inspired to write that song, Spinning Wheel, because of Joni Mitchell's song before she actually was really famous. Her song, The Circle Game, which is about seasonal cycles. And she had written painted ponies go up and down, and that's where he got all that from. 4 of 8 members played the horns in their band, which defined their sound. And then the person who started the band, Cooper, left and then was replaced by David in 1968. So they became big in 1969, and this was very interesting. Blood, Sweat, and Tears was the second highest paid at Woodstock besides Jimi Hendrix, but actually no one got paid because people weren't paying for their entrance fees for tickets. Really funny, because they're probably all wasted. So, let's see here. Yeah, second highest at Woodstock. Tickets weren't being paid. They were actually also cut out of the Woodstock film due to box office royalties. They didn't want to have to pay them. So they kind of got cut out of history that way. But that was coming up from songfacts.com. And he was saying in songfacts.com that a lot of people assumed this song was about religion or dealing with God or devil, and he said that they were both way off, and that was at 10:09. At 10:10, and what came up? Just one second, I want to check back, because there's another song that came up, and I don't know if I told you that yesterday. The Pursuit of Happiness came up in an email from me yesterday, so if you haven't watched it, you must watch it. It's an amazing movie. And let's see. There was a song too. I'm just trying to figure out which song it was. Oh well, if it comes up, it comes up. So at 10:10 we have the Wheel of Fortune ×2. Okay, Turn for the Better. New Life, Carousel, Paint Splatter Wheel. So have the image of that wheel turning around, but it doesn't just stay in a circle, even though you're on the hamster wheel. There's splatters that do actually splatter out as you go, even if you can't get yourself off the wheel. There's little pieces of you and what you're learning on that wheel that's splattering out around you, which is then going to help you get off the wheel. So you never know how it will land, that splatter, or how it will come out, end up. The gift of the moment, presence to the flame. The energy it takes to spin round and round and never get off the ride gets tiring and boring after a while. The hamster wheel. So changing it up by looking up to show you the colors that are real, okay? That are real in your flame. Flanked by 2 others, each unique and just as powerful, hot and bright, and can burn if you don't see the light. The minnow and Lady Liberty's crown. ING glory, the ship and the statue, the shit and the statute of limitations, the fearless crew lost and liberties taken, stranded on Liberty Island next door to Ellis, an island unto herself. So something else came up online here. It was about, well, first 33, I saw something about 33 arrested for heroin trafficking in Johnston, PA, which is about 4 hours away from me. And that was dated from 4/22 of this year, all right? Was that this year? I'm sorry, not 4/22 of this year, from 2016. But it was 4/22, so that was very interesting since yesterday was 22nd. And yesterday I said something that was from the 21st of April. But 33 is that Christ vibration coming up. And then also, I was getting that Liberty and Ellis may be mates, but Mini Lady Liberty in France is actually the Statue of Liberty's twin. So France and the United States, which makes total sense because they're completely different. And let's see here. Statue of Liberty was from October 28th, 1886. My son was due on October 28th, but he was 4 hours late. He was born on the 29th at 4 o'clock in the morning. So another header that came up was on 4/20/120. So these are this year. Madeleine Albright, the first woman U.S. Secretary of State, was quoted here as reacting to Trump's immigration order. The Statue of Liberty is weeping. Okay, so it's funny, after I was getting the Statue of Liberty, that she had just said that. That was on the 21st. And then on April 16th, 20, the Statue of Liberty blueprints, and notice it's blueprints, right? The prints of the blue, discovered, showing last-minute changes, right? So the arm that held the flame was initially supposed to be a stockier arm and more supportive and more straight, so it would be more strong in the wind. But it was made slender at the last minute, changing Eiffel's plan, because Eiffel was the one who did the plan on this. He helped design the statue. So, you know, Eiffel had made it more structured, and then the person who was actually doing the statue wanted it to be more pleasing to the eye, but it was also more fragile at the same time, which, you know, there have been issues with the statue since then because of explosions or weather or whatever it is. But Barry Lawrence Ruderman was the California map dealer who bought a folder of Eiffel's historic papers at an auction in Paris. And it was originally intended, the statue was originally intended to celebrate the end of slavery and later became a beacon for immigrants. That was later, though. And then there's a 1903 plaque inside the statue from Emma Lazarus' poem, and you notice her initials are EL, as in Elohim. Give me, you're tired, you're poor, you're huddled masses, yearning to breathe free. So that's inside the Statue of Liberty from 1903. So the French poet Edouard de La Boule, I'm not sure if I'm saying his name right, conceived and commissioned a sculptor, Bartholdi, to design, and this was from Fox News, to design and mold it after the Roman goddess of liberty. So then Bartholdi needed an engineer, so he then commissioned Eiffel, known for doing railways and bridges and the sway, you know, knowing what he's doing with the wind. And Lady Liberty was flexible enough to sway up to 3 inches, and the torch up to 6 inches, or in other words, at 50 miles per hour, 80-kilometer winds. So the revision that they found was dated July 28th. Again, July 28th is my brother's birthday, 1882. And that was after the construction had already begun, so that whatever plans he had, he decided that he wanted something different. So then I was getting the summary here for this read. All right, we're going from the Chariot to the 5 of Swords to the Knight of Cups over here. You see the tidal wave in a coffee cup and surfing that wave. So the summary of those, the gush of wind in a coffee cup. And as soon as I wrote that down, I was getting, look at all my trials and tribulations, sinking in a gentle pool of wine. Don't disturb me now, I can see the answers. Till this morning, till this evening is this morning, life is fine. All right, so that was from the Apostles from Jesus Christ Superstar. And it was actually the time of Judas's betrayal in the movie. So Jesus Christ Superstar wasn't sung there, but there is a verse where Judas comes in and says, every time I look at you, I don't understand why you let the things you did get so out of hand. And then Jesus, that's where Jesus is leaving and say, will no one stay awake with me, because he's already called Judas out on, he knows he's going to betray him. Will no one stay awake with me? Peter, John, James. Will no one of you wait with me? Peter, John, James. So it was a very touching part of the movie. But then I was getting to break down Bartholdi, who was the designer of the Statue of Liberty, and bar, right, B-A-R, and then T for me is toggle up, which I always tell you, and it's toggling up to hold the chakra system, or bar to the nth degree, the old chakra, or toggle up and dance with the old chakra system. So that led me into some chakra things that I'm going to tell you about as well. So let's see what that had to say. It was very interesting too. All right, so 1103 is Justice and the Empress. So we had the Chariot, the Five of Swords, and the Knight of Cups, which I told you. There's a bold new growth to surf into the shore, enjoy and ride the wave of love. Infinity, the edge of the horizon, the knowing of what's on the other side without seeing it with 3D eyes. Fear, hiding prior to new birth and exposure, the gestation, when you're vulnerable, of course you want to hide out like you would hide a newborn baby in the belly of a grown-up. Risky dumping to passionate expressing round and round with splattering of colors, and the Four of Wands home or union to the present moment with the focus on the flame, the third flame that teaches your divine masculine and your divine feminine to dance, but only if both are open to it in each moment again and again. So I use the words down here on the bottom of the cards give me codes as well, because they're partial words. So there I was getting 8 and like a 3/4 moon, or the 0, which is the human embodiment of source. So it's 8 and a 3/4 moon, and then 7 and a 3/4 moon, and then the 4 flames. And then on the other side is the Ace of CR, the 8 of the 3 of flames. So it's getting countdown of the divine feminine, count up of the divine masculine, 8, 7, and the final countdown to blast off from the feminine side into union, into the closed circuit TV and new life crate of, I was getting different things, a crate of oranges and also wine, which keeps coming up during this read a lot. Let's see. Then I was getting Mirror Dark Souls 2, Wandering Swordsman from the land of Mirrah, who was tricked and it's found locked in a jail cell, and freeing him he will tell you who he is and what his goals are for revenge for the man who backstabbed him. Okay, and that was coming up from Creighton of Mirrah, Dark Souls 2. Dark Souls 2, wiki.fextralife.com. So new life exposure, and then a crate of wine, again wine coming up, present to the moment. And then I was getting the 3 of flames, but breaking it down to THR, which is take the high road, EE, which is a code for the divine feminine, but also energetic exchange, and then of the flames, which is FLA, Florida, and MES, which is me and Sophia. So I get a lot of references about the Florida keys, right? Because we're talking about key codes all the time. So your threefold flame online then came up from transcendencetoolbox.com, which looks like a great site from Kim Michaels, if you want to check that out, transcendencetoolbox.com. Your threefold flame and your sevenfold flame. In secret chamber, the light is split into what's called the threefold flame, the physical flame that springs from small white spark that has 3 plumes, which are blue, first ray of willpower, yellow, second ray of wisdom, and pink, which is the 3rd ray of love. So it enters through what she calls the 8th ray, located behind the heart chakra, in the secret chamber of the heart. So I'm going to explain to you what I was getting from this too, because this brought a whole new thing down for me. So must balance you, the threefold flame. Once balanced, you have an option then to use your 4th ray, which is your heart, to accelerate to a higher level of the 5th, 6th, and 7th rays that express your full potential of your presence on all 7 rays, or the 4D bridge. 5 being wholeness, 6 being peace, and 7 freedom. And then also explains each one and the perversions or blocks on each one. So I'm not going to go in on I'm losing my voice now. All right, so there's definitely a lot of throat blocks. That's really funny. All right, so I guess they want me to read them. So the gold, let me get out of this if I'm not on throat. All right, so perversions or blocks for the different ones she was listing. So she was listing the chakra system in not in the rainbow system, but in her own system of how the rays are set up. So the crown would be the yellow or gold in wisdom, and then the perversion was false wisdom or duality. And then the third eye was green as opposed to indigo with truth and vision, and then the perversion being the need for discernment or lack of vision and dualistic truths and basing things on appearances. The blue or the throat chakra at the seat of, my voice is about to crack again. The throat chakra is she's writing as the seal of creative drive. And then the problem with that is the pure expression and the willingness to experiment and know that everything matters. So people have issues in the throat chakra, fear of the unknown, abusive power, to control one's circumstances, right? Because then we try to control others. So owner stuff came up, and powerlessness, giving up because you feel like you can't make a difference, so why try? All that stuff was coming up under the throat chakra as the seat of the creative drive. And then the heart was coming up as a magenta type color, the seat of balance with love, compassion, and clarity. And where light enters. And then the problem with the heart is the lack of balance. The solar plexus was coming up as a dark, like a wine color. And then that was coming up as peace and harmony. With the problem with that chakra was anger and agitation, which you can all imagine because we always get nervous in our solar plexus. And that's where violence and killing comes up. And an unwillingness to stand for anything. So that includes then victims as well, who won't stand up for themselves. And then we have the sacral chakra, which she calls the soul chakra, which is rose pink color. She didn't label the colors, but it looked rose pink to me. Playfulness, freedom, forgiveness, and justice. And the problems being taking life too seriously or being epic-minded. To be able to, and it was more like a violet color in her other diagram. So from rose pink to violetish colors. But she was saying to laugh off the devil, and then that quote, laughing at the devil, and then he runs away from you. And Jesus's quote in the Bible, I guess, as be wise as a serpent and harmless as doves. So that was, she was referencing to the base chakra, the sacral or soul chakra. And then the base chakra was the interface between spirit and the physical body, and the purity and hope and self-discipline, and the problems being not to avoid bad experiences, but actually spiritualizing them. That reality, the problem with the base chakra is that we see reality as being real when it's really not. The love is real. So impurity and chaos become the issues of that chakra. And that comes up as like a sky blue to white color. So that was bringing up for me downloads I was getting, which were totally different from this. I relate to what she was saying. And it made sense in one sense too, because a mandala that I got once totally made sense for me by her chakra system. But then I was getting new information about the chakra system, which I'm going to show you in just a minute. And you may or may not resonate with it, which is fine. It may not be perfectly clarified yet, but I was definitely confirming it. So I'm going to give you that information. So as I turn the page, 1207, which is the hangman, and the 7 of the chariot, drinking wine as two as opposed to children. She older than he, surrounded by 6 cups cheering them on. So as opposed to 2 people drinking wine together, right, which we don't need because the alcohol is not good for our body, but not to judge it either. There's nothing wrong with that. But instead of that, right, of the 2 of cups, then having the 6 of cups, this is what bridges you in the third energy, or excuse me, in the 3D energy. So instead of drinking wine as the 2, drinking wine as the 2, as opposed to the children there, what that bridges the 2. Sorry, I'm having trouble speaking today. I don't know what's going on with Mercury or whatever, but she older than he in that picture, and then surrendered or surrounded. They're surrendered in the circle, and then they're surrounded by 6 cups, which instead of drinking alcohol, there are 6 cups of people cheering them on, like raising their cups to them. So there is support there for bringing the twins together. As not everybody is against bringing them together. So bridging kids and the inner children to the etheric realms in 4D and ground into the 5D wisdom. The 4D juggler dropped 2 of 5 balls that he was juggling, able to handle 3 much better. So there's definitely some good energies coming up here. So like I told you, this read came up with the grid number of 55, which is Excalibur and the Truth. On the horizontal axis, the message I was getting is the Lovers and the Wheel and the Knight of Cups. So the Lovers destined to be love, the action of being love. And then on the vertical axis, I was getting the Dance of Ascension, grieving justice, and Dance of the Moon, and abundance of Gaia. So it was all about nature. And I was talking about, in this read, about the fact that even if you are in a populated area, the nature is specifically positioned around you to allow you to get your messages out. It was very interesting because I have no houses across the street, even though I live in a suburb of Philadelphia. So the dance of nature's balance and source is justice. Dance of the magical strength of Gaia and Mother Nature. And in our situation right now, where nature has had time to heal, which I'm sure you've all heard a lot about. So I'm finished with this read, but then there's, I just want to read up here what I have about the chakra system. Well, there's some other information that was coming up from the read. So I'm done with this now. So I'm going to take this out for you so you can see the masculine read. All right, so I'm just going to pull it back a little bit so you can see the read. All right, so this is for the Divine Masculine. And as I'm still doing the masculine read this morning, I cut and dealt the SIRIAN Starseed deck, which is the main deck for the read. For those of you not familiar, it's a 7-deck read. I have the mini deck for Rider Waite. I have the Tarot Sexual Magic, the Numerology deck, Romance Angels, as well as the Universal Golden Tarot and the Gilded Tarot. I think I got everything. And it is a general read, so if something doesn't fit for you, then don't force it to fit. It is a general read for many people. And if you should need anything from me, if you'd like a reading, all my information is below in the details, as well as on my website, twinflames3344.com, and at gmail.com, the same address. Okay, so, and the 23rd comes up always as a special day for me too, that number, the 23rd, as far as dates specifically. At the SIRIAN Starseed deck was cut at 12:42 to 43, which is the Hangman, and then the 2 and 3 of Cups. Very beautiful energy again, the connection of the 2, and then the 3 of Cups of coming together in love. So 12:58 is the Hangman, and 58, which is the 4 of Swords, the connecting in 5D. I was getting Eyes Wide Shut. And then at 12:59, which is the 5 of Swords, that frog to Prince energy, I was getting Celerity. And then I was getting at 101, Motley Crue. I was putting the cards out, 101, and I'll tell you those cards when I get there. So 101 are the 2 magicians. And then 104 is the Magician and the Emperor. I was getting a Fool for Love. And then at 105, which is the Emperor and the Hierophant, a more elevated version of the Emperor, I suppose. You can see it that way. Or all a different person altogether, is the 6 of Cups under the Arch Bridge again. So I literally had said something yesterday, the day before, several times about them being under an arch bridge. And the last card put out today, right here, is the 6 of Cups. And see my little candle holder? There's an arch there. It's literally the twins under the arch bridge. It's very cool. So I'll show you that at the end as well. So the 6 of Cups is very important in the read today. It's in the now crowning position, upright, as well as that last card of the read. And we have the Sun in the middle of the read, upright, in the middle, center card, and the challenge is the 10 of Pentacles, which is upright as well. So I'm going to get right into the read here. At 106, I was also getting mine, like not as in mine all mine, but as in a coal mine or diamond mine. So when I wrote coal mine, they were telling me think bigger. So they guided me to write down diamond, because that was the message to you guys, to think bigger. So 104 to 5 was when I finished the read, which is one of the Magician again, and then the 4 to 5 again expressed as the Emperor and the Hierophant, which has to do, it's like church versus state, right? The Emperor is the businessman, the Hierophant is the religious leader. So it's kind of that energy. It also can be an energy of the masculine seeing himself in a different way, or a parent, or an in-law, or a boss that he's dealing with. It can be all of those different situations. So the major arcana here were the solar deity, which I told you is right in the middle of the read, upright, the hanging man, and the starseed, which is like the Fool. And then before the read, we had Karma, which is the Judgment card. And after the read, Luna came up, which is the Moon. And we're still in the new moon energy. And we had 3 cups, 4 swords, and 1 pentacle today. And by the way, it's like around 39 is where this read was starting. 3 cups, 4 swords, 1 pentacle. There were no wands. However, there's wand energy, but in the main deck, there were no wands, so it wasn't something significant. So a lot of action and desire going on today. But there was a lot of swords. We had 4 swords here and 3 cups, but a lot in their mind today, or just intellectualizing. And then we have the King of Cups as the only court card in the main part of the read. After the read, we also had the Page of Wands, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Page of Cups. So a lot of kid or message type energy there. The numbers in the code line, we had several significant numbers. We had triple tens, which is a very high vibration. We had double nines and double sixes, and in a lesser sense, double eights, which is always the masculine and feminine doing the dance side by side. But 66 is the Queen of Pentacles, and 99 represents extreme compassion. And then, of course, like I said, the triple tens, very high vibrational. The code line was all about leadership and time out for the masculine. And the number on the code line was 23, which is today's day, the 23 of the King of Wands. It was from 2 tens and a 3, so 10, 10, and 3. So again, that very high vibration, and then the 3 of the Empress of Abundance and Gaia. This code line around leadership and time out. Well, let me tell you the other numbers first. We had 341, and the Holocaust is coming up again. I don't know why, just now. Helicopter flew over at 107 when I was writing that down, and that can have a reference to war. So Holocaust was coming up. There may be something about a helicopter specifically that somebody might have a wound about. 341 is 3 for Gaia, and then 41 is the Ace of Cups. We also had 1 come up, which is the Magician. 3 is the Empress. The triple tens, double sixes, double nines, and then 9, 10 begin again and again, again. And then we had 69, which is the Ace of Pentacles, 13, which is the Death card or transition, 36, which is the 10 of Wands, and 68, which is the Page of Pentacles, 89, which is the reflection of 98, which is the human body temperature. So I see it as that expansion of temperature, like getting too hot or too cold. And then the 610, which is 61 with a lot of source energy backing it up. So 61 is that 7 of Swords energy, but in the SIRIAN Starseed deck, it's about passing downloads as opposed to, per se, the liar, cheat, or thief, which really the card is just about inherent risk. So it doesn't have to be lying, cheating, and stealing. So getting into this read, and the reason why we have leadership and time out, and the message here, the key being the I am presence, right, above yourself, even above your higher self, right, the I am presence, the Trinity energy of the Trinity, okay? So the highest energy of God, and the show of power of Jesus in that high vibration, and the destiny of Jesus as the template of the Divine Masculine, of the soul dream family, right? Literally the family the masculine dreams of when he's in the etheric realms. And then the HA came up again, the Ha of the 81, the end of karma, but I was getting ghosting here. Ha. Okay, and then 3, which is also is Gaia, but also breaks into take the high road in the energetic exchange between you, but also the divine feminine here, talking to the masculine. And then the date 5-2 also came up, and 52 is the Queen of Swords, speaking her truth. So May 2nd may have some significance. Besides, it was coming up as 9 days from now, as 3/4 moon. So the 3/4 moon came up 3 times in this read, so it was very significant. And it can reference that time of the cycle too, right? Not at the full moon or the half moon, but that in-between space, but where it's still pretty full. So source was coming up here, and then the 19, which is the sun, so that can reference as the sun, S-U-N or S-O-N, of the soul. The central sun was coming up, and the dream family, and the high vibe crystals, which is us. We're the crystalline bodies. Ha! The end of karma, as we have these new crystalline bodies, and the 39 of the Knight of Cups in being love, only 3/4 human, because we're actually divine as well, okay? But there's a lot of different references to how much human versus source we are, which I'll get into. It comes up here. So Trinity heart, I was getting the heart is green, the high heart pink, but I get aqua for the high heart as well, and then red as the, well, actually I was getting gold as the entry of the back heart that she was talking about as the 8th chakra, but I don't see it as the 8th chakra. I see it as the 6th chakra between the solar plexus and the heart, and I'll get into that in a second. But blue, yellow, and pink I was getting here. From what she had talked about, I was trying to parallel it to the downloads I was specifically getting, so mine comes up very different than what she was teaching, but it was based on the rays in the chakra system, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. And you may not resonate with what I tell you, but I'm going to tell you what I got. So Trinity, the Trinity chakra system is coming up. So they keep telling us that our chakra system is the connection to our highest self of God, source, love, however you want to see it. You don't have to be religious to understand this. And then the chakra system is basically the kiss and the hug from God. Okay, so root is red. It's just the root coming from the back entrance as pinks or reds and whites dumping into the 3rd chakra system or the solar plexus. So, and I'm going to clarify this for you. So what I was developing here came into something slightly different, but the dark whites and pinks add to the heart and the high heart. Just as the stomach takes in food, the solar plexus takes in energy source directly from the stream from source and distributes from between the heart and the solar plexus in the back and muddies the yellow as the solar plexus, as some energy goes down, some energy goes up. So I'm going to show you a picture of what I'm talking about so you understand better. So of course, you know, red is for the 3D energies because the lower 3 chakras in the 7 chakra system are the 3D chakras. The heart is the 4D bridge, basically. It's what bridges between the lower chakras and the upper 3 chakras. And we're going to include the, let's see. So the red is for the 3D body, and then the white energy that comes into your crown chakra, that purifying light, is for the 5D body, and then the whites and pinks come together, right? Because if you think about it, all of the energies at the top of the head have a lot of red in them, right? Because purples have red. That's blue and red. So there's red going all through the chakra system, as well as white needing to come in more at the top because the lower chakras don't have a whole lot of that white. You know, they're full red color, full orange, full yellow, whereas up top you have violet and white at the top, so it becomes very muted. But white is some of all of the colors, and violet. Okay, so there's very much energy about that coming up, distributing from the entry of the back between the heart and the solar plexus, and how the colors get distributed. So it was explaining it to me in a very simple way, the way we would understand it, but I was getting a different ordering, slightly different, from different things I've learned from others over the course, but this is all stuff that I'm getting downloaded now, and anything I've resonated with in the past is like collectively coming into the energy that I'm getting now, okay? So having to do with how we have pinks and how we have the whites and blues in the throat and the red to blue third eye of indigo and more white to crown, right? Because we're always streaming in the white from the top. So for the 12 chakra system, specifically what I was getting, well, first I'm going to tell you what I wrote so I have everything before I show you. So some of the stuff from the code line in this read were coming up that source is 9/10, just like possession is 9/10 of the law. Source is 9/10 of the soul from the sun, right? So the downloads that we're getting from the sun, they're saying is 9/10 of it is straight from the central sun. That high vibe energy for your crystalline body, from your crystal family. And then I was getting, some people may get headaches from that, but I was getting the reference to the 3 out of 9, so the 1/3, right? So the body is connected in the 3 parts of the heart, and then the upper chakras and the lower chakras, but it was coming up more detailed than that. That it's not 3/9 as in 1/3, but actually 3 and 9. It's actually 9 chakras plus 3 like managing chakras, and then a 13th chakra which manages another group again. All right, so I'm going to show you what I got. And this is just directly what I'm getting. I mean, I'm not number one, when I learn things, I don't remember everything because my recall is really bad since I had my accident. I hit my head on the street, my concussion. I don't recall things, but my understanding of all of the names of all the different chakra systems, because there's so many different versions of the chakra system, I don't remember those things. So I'm not really great about that stuff. But this is what I'm getting straight as a download. I'm going to show you the picture. So it's just a really, it's a sketch that I just did in 2 seconds so that you understand. All right, so we have, the way they're showing me is, the regular, most of the chakras you understand. We have the crown, the third eye, the throat, but I'm adding in the high heart, and this is the main heart, the solar plexus, the navel chakra, the sacral chakra, and then the root chakra, and then the earth star chakra down here. So what they were showing me is there's 3 sections, these 3, and then these 3. And each 3 are like governed by another chakra. So this is like the 4th eye in the back of the head, which I was getting as the blue chakra. The white streams in from the crown, okay, which above the head I was getting the white, and then the gold and the diamond energies, which then reference to the other managing chakras. So we have the 3 up here are managed by the 4th eye chakra here. Then I was getting the throat, the heart, high heart, and the heart. Excuse me, this, and the throat are all part of this. Then we have the high heart, the heart, and the solar plexus, which are managed by the back, right? There's an entry of energy, which I'm getting as the main gold energy for the human body, right? So the white light isn't necessarily for the human body, it's for the chakra system, but the gold and the reds are much more about the 3D body and the lower chakra system, okay? So the gold comes in here through the back at the heart, but it's also the high heart separate from that, the heart, and then the solar plexus as one group. And then we have the navel chakra separate from the solar plexus, the sacral chakra, and then the root chakra as one group, fed by the earth chakra, which is the red, okay? Because this is very brown down here with the root chakra. So, and you notice that these managing chakras, the blue, the gold, and the red are the primary colors. And then the white comes in streaming from the crown directly. And then I was getting a 13th chakra, which manages the third eye together with the heart, together with the sacral, because these are our main chakras that we need in our ascension, okay? So then this was being shown to me as the diamond chakra, and then the gold is managing over here, okay? So those are the main managers, but also included in this way as well. So anyway, just letting you know what I got. And it was definitely resonating with me. So, all right, now I'm going to get into the read for you guys. And that was coming up from the code line as well. All right, so think bigger. Yeah, so that was all the chakra system. So it's an easy system to see because you have, it's just like the 369 of the 3D, 4D, and 5D, right? So you have 3 sections of 3, and each section of 3 has a managing body, so that would be 3 sections of 4, right? So that's the 12, and then you just have the 13th as an overseeing system of the third eye, the heart, and then the sacral energies, which are the prime areas for our ascension energy. And also you notice that the 13th chakra guides the secondary colors. So it's purple, green, and orange. That was very interesting. Okay. So what else was coming up around that stuff? Yeah, I think I got everything for that. So with the King of Cups, we start here. King of Cups, and then the 4 cards below the King of Cups reversed was Karma reversed, which is the Judgment card, 10 of Cups reversed, 8 of Swords reversed, and the 9 of Wands reversed. The King of Cups reversed is detached or over-emotional, or perhaps drinking, after karma triggered unhappy family and or an ending to a family or emotional cycle, in a release from anxiety, hiding, fear, prison, trap, or the wounded warrior and or surrenders and gives up energetic resistance. The Empress is reversed here along with the King of Pentacles upright in an energetic exchange between them, expressing feelings about sharing in love relationships. So this can also be the masculine with his mother, that type of energy. At the new moon, frustrated, uninspired, or having temper tantrums when egos flare, and like I said, there may be some frustration today for anyone, surrendering the fight or the resistance. The Empress reverse perhaps lost a child or is acting like a child with temper tantrums or refusing to do anything. It can also just be a parent who's disabled, whether it's physically or mentally. And the King of Pentacles is awakened surrender, keeping their channels open. So just talking about the chakra channels. Those in exile or destitute, injuries, illnesses, dealing with any of those things, recovering by healing hearts and learning to forgive, even when it's not easy. So holding their tongue to end the war, clearly a bird with depression, so just referencing feminine energy, with depression not sharing, or scammed, or in debt, or some kind of inequity in a relationship, a leak in the ceiling, leaks of emotions, or literally the veil thinning, and now can see more clearly. I can see clearly now, the rain has gone. So that was coming up. Inequities, imbalances, so it's the masculine all of a sudden seeing the inequities and imbalances around them that they didn't see before, purging them and the injustices, the molehills and the mold growth, the moss growth, and perhaps use of algae. Liberty and justice for all, and mercy ships coming up as well. Once emotions all purged from the full moon, there's more clarity at the new moon to go forth in sharing and teaching and learning the conditions of love. Not the unconditional love, but noticing what their conditions are when they love. The Page of Cups is out here with a message of love, upright, coming clean, getting clean, in a downturn or twist of fate, insecurities and manipulations, and a need for tools to deal with their ascension, to not get schooled, to handle their own demons, and not run away, to work on the red root and kids not doing their schoolwork. Anchoring down, grounding, no need to take flight. Love yourself first, and beneath that was reconciliation coming up. So reconciliation first and then loving yourself first. So learning after reconciliation, maybe that wasn't loving yourself first, so that now you have to love yourself first. And now awakening to all these things that are actually going on around you. Holding back a new life to connect, holding back desires, and standing up for self, and perhaps surprising someone at 251, which is the High Priestess and the King of Swords. So again, at 251, the High Priestess and the King of Swords, canceling perhaps a staged event to connect with true love without rescue attempts, surprised by how good a hug feels, inspired to get a haircut perhaps, and surprise them back, perhaps a home-cooked meal. Little lizard watching home fires burn, seeing a new side of the Divine Masculine come back to life again. 56 is the Two of Swords, in relationship change, and beneath that was surrender of 91, which for me is reflecting as the central sun because 19 is the sun. Defenseless to stingers, energies, and attacks. A devil or a Capricorn from the King of Wands reversed receives or makes a big offer to the King of Wands reversed, who may be exhausted, along with frustrated or angry, with the Queen of Pentacles reversed and the Knight of Wands reversed playing the field, or fighting with each other constantly, nonstop, slinging of arrows, debates, and or holding back desires, feelings, and delays in communications and travel. The Knight of Wands may be dressing too sexy, so that could be a teenager coming up that way, or it could be a partner who's acting that way. Whether it's a teen or an adult, or the Knight of Wands player is trying to tempt the Queen of Pentacles reversed, only to get in a fight. The Knight of Wands reversed may be a female player who expects to be treated like royalty and willing to fight for everything no matter what, so you can't pacify them no matter what. So there could be that the King of Pentacles upright is trying to offer financial help, right, because he's the King of Pentacles, he's doing well and he's stable, to the King of Wands reversed and the Queen of Pentacles reversed, with the Knight of Wands reversed, or to the King of Wands reversed, which pissed off the Queen of Pentacles reversed and the Knight of Wands reversed, and that could be a mother and child expecting to get the money to be spent on them and then seeing the mask and giving it to someone else. They don't like that. That's one scenario. Or the Queen of Pentacles had an affair with the King of Wands reversed, and the King of Pentacles doesn't care, so that pissed her off. Or the King of Pentacles' partner got pregnant, and the King of Wands reversed is the daddy, not him. Or one child, the Page of Wands reversed, is staying with the grandparent and the King of Pentacles, and the other is with the Queen of Pentacles reversed and the King of Wands reversed, or the kids are the King of Wands reversed kids, both of them, the Page and Knight of Wands. And like I said, the Queen of Pentacles is pissed that the King of Pentacles is helping them out instead of, spending money on her. The King of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles reversed could be siblings or of the Empress reversed as well. And so there's definitely heated debates here with the King of Cups reversed and the Empress reversed and the King of Pentacles upright and kids. Ten of Cups family is reversed here in this read versus the Ten of Pentacles family, which is upright, which either can be two separate families, the in-laws and your family, or it can be your immediate family and the extended family and community or business, okay? So the Montagues and the Capulets come up, or immediate and extended families, or business, legacy, and community, like I said, sharing or settling out insecurities and manipulations, or selling tools, or just insecure about surprising someone for dinner, or in a relationship change. The recent past is the Ten of Swords upright, in a painful ending or betrayal, or an ending pain, or dealing with back treatments, or just getting a massage, making him happy, exposing all, or kids fully energized and killing him at present, or all is exposed and the secret is out, falling short or holding back from the Queen of Pentacles by withholding time, money, and energy, or this Queen of Pentacles was secretly played, or a new life due to the masculine detoxing at the new moon, deception in uncomfortable emotions and in chronic purging, or just stressed out, looking back, going back, or still living in the past, or doing shadow work. The foundation is the Nine of Swords, that suffering in silence with their world upside down. So it can be stress, it can be up nights crying, it can just be not sleeping well, whatever it is for you. But suffering in silence with the world upside down, which everyone's feeling that right now, in pain or ending pain, and back treatments, like I said, overworking, not working, or what they're doing is just not working at 319, which is the Empress and the Sun. After a fight, a battle, or lost a competition, rising above, awake to imbalances in relationships around him, the central energy is the Sun upright. Happy kids, energy, sunshine, and full exposure of everything. Of detox to lover, letting go to repair, divorcing and or being outside the box, and dumping emotional attachments with Hermit shedding light on it. That could be a doctor, a counselor, advisor, family, or friend. And the challenge being the Ten of Pentacles upright. Oh, by the way, the signs there, we had Capricorn reversed, Gemini upright, Leo upright, Taurus reversed, Virgo upright, Cancer reversed, Pisces reversed. All of them came up right here. The challenge being for the masculine is the Ten of Pentacles, family upright. Family, business, legacy, community, whatever it is, or the extended family, right? Sovereign lover and burdens are carried by this sovereign lover. And that can be, it doesn't have to be a sexual relationship, because the lovers can be an affectionate relationship, and often comes up for children, things like that. So dealing with the Ten of Pentacles family or community or business, and the sovereign lover, and that can be also the masculine becoming single, and the burdens carried with this, working too hard to avoid disaster, or while working with lover or those of great affection, all hell broke loose, or explosion, eruption, epiphanies, blowing their top, their crown, or their cover, hurting their back, or got kicked out, or disabled working for the emperor suddenly realizing they're being treated like a slave, or vice versa, or the emperor is using affection to get whatever they want, or feels he has the right to work people into the ground, looking back about blocking people from seeing his vulnerable side by blocking or blowing his top, looking back at when new passion or new projects with growth were offered to him while sitting on a pile of money, the King of Wands upright and the King of Swords upright, or the Emperor upright, like did they ever offer help, or vice versa, however it plays out in your situation. The King of Swords choosing a new path, or going on a date, or remembering others offering passion but never paid for dinner. They threw fits of jealous rage. Or Scorpio player with temper tantrums, always blocking their efforts. Her pushing him to wake up, and she would abuse her, pushing him to wake up at night so she could abuse him, right, when he may have been working lots of hours all the time. Or times when she or remembering back to the time in the relationship where she couldn't get enough of him and now refuses to wake up at night, lying about lover or splitting up, separations or wealthy family paying for expensive spa rehabs, or using her childhood abuse by Ten of Pentacles family as an excuse or manipulation to do or say whatever she pleases, or daddy's girl, or he better do what she wants, or he's going to have to deal with her father. And that can reference his father as well, just depends on your dynamic. Or split from the Ten of Pentacles and home, being threatened or bribed with no peace of mind. The King of Cups is reversed here at work and waiting for the next bomb to drop. Now, in his present moment, is the Six of Cups upright, which can be kids or twins, or even a best friend from childhood or a sibling, that kind of energy. Suffering is fully exposed here, and it's very loving, upright energy here. An inability to function, the King of Swords and the Knight of Cups offering love to the Knight of Swords reversed, who's holding their tongue, or his efforts were thwarted in offering love because he's flanked by the Knight of Pentacles reversed and the Knight of Swords reversed, spies for the mother lode. Depression, loss of hope, suffering and silence. Rapunzel in the Tower, at war with negative energy exchange at 349, is the Empress and the 49 of the Nine of Cups, the Get Your Wish card, except in this read, the Nine of Cups is reversed today. Okay, so recovering from this lack of peace with kids or the inner twins or siblings or childhood friends, expecting him to take them to work lunch but never offering money, or vice versa. So it's definitely looking back and assessing where they were using other people or other people were using them, how many times they were always paying for lunch at work and no one ever contributed. But all of those little things are coming up as the masculine looks back, refusing to even try a meal, a dance. Weak to Leo, or Leo with tantrums, suffering in silence to get over their grief, with an unstable home, or moving, or visitors, or staying at another's house, or ending parties, needing courage to offer something in return. Perhaps in the past, the Scorpio offering money for sex, or always in debt to the boss's daughter, or not working, or stubborn, on strike, or needing courage to not work for the Emperor, or the wife who says, you know, my money's my money and your money's my money. So that energy is definitely coming up. Better not argue, they're gonna call dad, or their dad will put you in your place, or your dad will, or refusing to eat healthy, or you offering a healthy offer to them to let go and amend, and the Emperor being patient and depressed, or dealing with a Sagittarius and Aquarius reversed in a split. Drinker with attitude, or Sagittarius potion maker, using their kiss as a hook, which can be kids, especially older teens, to get what they want. Whether it's a daughter or a partner or sister, etc., the Queen of Pentacles upright and the King of Wands upright, perhaps the Queen of Pentacles is with the King of Cups reversed daddy, who treats the King of Wands like a child here. The Emperor flanked again here by Sagittarius teen perhaps, and on the other side, the Page of Pentacles reversed teen, which came up before as well, so it can be the same two kids, or co-workers, or any younger people around them. Leo, Virgo, Sagittarius, Aquarius, Aries came up here. Regarding the Knight of Pentacles reversed, the Emperor, Sagittarius drinker, the Queen of Pentacles, and the King of Wands all coming up in a row, holding the King of Cups reversed and Page of Swords reversed. And the Page of Swords can just be his action, his negative self-talk, but it also can be an air child. But the King of Cups reversed and the Page of Swords reversed, holding them over his head. The Knight of Pentacles reversed won't wake up or refuses to get out of bed. The Emperor is in a split, or lying or BSing others. A fire sign teen may be drinking, or it's an immature partner, or his sister who's part of the Ten of Pentacles family. And the Queen of Pentacles is home. The King of Wands upright is without peace. Soon is the Hangman awake, or the Capricorn awake, free to leap now away from the Queen of Swords to the Emperor lover, or not a lover, but someone of affection in the family, or friends, whatever it is, in uncomfortable energies, refusing to change or clinging to life. It could be a parent who's clinging to life. Or now, because of what the Queen of Swords talks about, or talks up to the King of Wands, frees her. So whatever she's saying, he's noticing it frees her, while sovereign lover or Gemini is clinging to uncomfortable situation with the Emperor. The King of Wands is standing up for himself, juggling in this state of emergency, or looking down on the Queen of Swords, fending off the traveling circus, people who are broken, broke down, up or through, emergency services, canceled moves, and travel. Deliberating, holding back announcement, judgment, grounding and integrating an offer of love from the Page of Wands reversed, or the King of Wands with the Page of Wands reversed child, and that can reference the masculine and his father as well, and fending off, juggling a Cancer reversed and Aquarius reversed. While the Queen of Swords is free in awakening, but still struggles to completely walk away at 417, which is the Emperor and the Star. He sees himself as the Six of Swords reversed, so that's without peace of mind or any peaceful place to go, not able to travel. And 418 is the Emperor and the Moon, the new moon now, on the journey with good news or getting attention for success and leading the way to a Queen of Cups, probably a water sign or someone who's very much like that, loving, nurturing, and intuitive. But the Queen of Cups needing the courage to release self from their anxiety, fear, or prison, or he's heading to the Queen of Cups to tell her, or a Leo reversed just out of prison. Yeah, or it's two different, either he's just going to the Queen of Cups, leading the way to the Queen of Cups, who needs to release herself from her inner prison, or literally needs to tell the Queen of Cups that there's a Leo who's out of control, who just got out of prison. Dumped in the dumps or pushed to their emotional limits. The Page of Pentacles, or with Page of Pentacles, could be a child, a student, or an opportunity to study or learn something new, and ending an unhappy family or emotional cycle, with a divorce or justice or Libra choosing left to be sovereign, or choosing a sovereign, now released from their anxiety, and leading an unhappy family or ending of unhappiness, leading an unhappy family or the ending to the unhappiness. The Justice or Libra is over the Queen of Cups, choosing out of control Leo or ego, or choosing ego death, or they're choosing to be sovereign and free. You are safe to love came up for the masculine here. Retreat, just taking time away. And then trust, it's all about faith. And then true love, this is a romance of a lifetime, in need of peace. So around him is the Ace of Swords reversed, which can always be a split. Unhappy, dissatisfied with issues at work, with the Ten of Pentacles, family, business, legacy, or community. And a split, a lie, or dealing with BS. Connected post-war and still healing. The Two of Cups, unhappy, or business or work financial issues post-war, the virus, or not getting along with others or a third party. And the Ten of Pentacles, family, business, or legacy, or community, is recovering and forgiving. There's a need here for the masculine to clear blocks of the Three of Cups reversed, negative groups, influences, overindulgences, third party, or just no joy, no social life. And the Queen of Wands with clarity. May be afraid that the Queen of Wands might see the truth about the virus situation and the brokenness, the juggling and the offer of love, and a need for a timeout, but even more, and leadership, and even more so for the masculine here is music and intuition. Juggling two lovers and one in another world, the 5D, and he can remote view her, and she can see that he's got two dark goats in his pockets at work. One on the right is worse than the left, or the masculine goat is worse than the feminine goat. But now that may have ended. Tried to dump the 5D lover, but unable to because they are permanently connected. A fresh new start as a big bomb is dropped. The King of Wands affections for the Queen of Pentacles in union without peace, and the King of Cups reversed, not working, or he's involved too. Free to leap with third party or negative groups, or away from them as well, holding back an announcement or a wake-up call or final judgment about a split, lies, or cutting through the BS to get clarity. The King of Wands and the Queen of Pentacles are at home without peace, with the King of Cups reversed, issues at work or being a financial drain. Perhaps a download comes in to the King of Cups reversed and flips him upside down, and the King of Cups reversed with the Page of Swords reversed, which can be his own negative self-talk, in uncomfortable energies or emotions, with the King of Wands and the Queen of Pentacles, who are both upright, and the Page of Wands reversed, who may be removing the mask now to reveal his true self, and the Knight of Pentacles reversed, refusing to move or work at the new moon, and then the Page of Cups with a way open heart, cracking their hope, cracking their heart wide open, but also their hope, I guess. The 438 is the Emperor and the Queen of Cups again. So at 439, which is then the Emperor and the Knight of Cups, or realizes that an Aquarius or Scorpio is the third party in the situation. And it's like recognizing the person, understanding where they were flawed in the way they were seeing things, or realizes a Scorpio or Aquarius is the third party in the situation, or a bad influence for him. And the Six of Cups, the children, the soulmate relationship, your children, your twin, whatever it is, the Six of Cups are now together, hugging each other, free to leap away from uncomfortable emotions of the Page of Wands reversed and the Knight of Pentacles reversed, which can reference children around you or immature people around you, or the inner children of the masculine and feminine, in a deception of the Page of Cups, who at the new moon cracks their heart wide open. It's like the Grinch, where his heart grew 3 times that day. Or the Cancer moon or rising extends a message of love to their twin, soulmate, kids, sibling, or childhood friend. The King of Cups reversed is suffering in silence, without peace, in a split lie, cutting through the BS, ending pain and exposing all, and challenged by the Ten of Pentacles, family, business, or legacy. Awake, or with a big ego, or associated with negative groups. So the Master may see the Ten of Pentacles group as being associated with negative groups, not necessarily that they're negative per se. And the King of Cups reversed could be part of that family, or can represent the masculine as well. But the negative groups are influences, and they may be negative for the kids or twins needing a fresh new start. A leap of faith without uncomfortable energies of the Page of Wands reversed, frustrated, and then the Knight of Pentacles reversed, stubborn, or perhaps being seen as lazy. At 444 here, which is the angelic energies of at the new moon, sending a message of love, puppy love, or a loving child. The King of Cups reversed and the Ten of Swords upright, in negative energy exchange, suffering in silence and exposing all, and or with a Leo and or kids or twin, and challenged by the Ten of Pentacles, family, business, legacy, or community, and no peace. Awake and split lies are cutting through the BS of negative influences and social distancing to start fresh and work through negative self-talk and uncomfortable energies of the Page of Wands reversed, the Knight of Pentacles reversed, in the deception or just the new moon, and then the Page of Cups, love of twins, loving each other. So whoever these two energies are, it's a very loving energy at 449, which is the Emperor, and the 49 of the Nine of Cups. Okay, so that was the end of the read, and it's 117.51 or 49. It was actually when I looked at it. So we have the 1 of the Magician, the 17 of the Star, and then that 49 to 50, which is the 9 of Cups, the 10 of Cups. The 10 of Cups was upright, I believe. Was it? Or both reversed? No, I can't remember. Both were reversed. The 9 and 10 of Cups were both reversed today. But the Queen of Cups is upright. And the Knight of Cups is upright. The King of Cups reversed. All right, so I'm just going to pull from the energy deck quickly so I don't take too long for you guys. Okay, so everybody take a deep breath. So for everybody watching, the best and highest good of all is concerned. What do we need to know? What do we need to learn? Take a deep breath. Let's clear all negative, dark, and viral energies across all dimensions of time, space, matter, and realities for the highest good of all is concerned, and fill that empty space with only beautiful divine love and diamond crystalline light. And so it is. I'm definitely having trouble talking today. It hasn't been this difficult to talk all week. All right, so what is the message from this read? What is our takeaway? What do you want us to know? Mother, Father, Christus, Sophia, what is our energy? What do we need to know? Well, that dropped right out. Happy family, okay? So 4 is the Emperor. And then we have the 19 of the Sun, rest and rejuvenation. And that doesn't mean it has to be a 4 family, okay? This just has to do with structure and stability and the happy family. The Emperor is upright, and the Sun is upright as well. So it could be Leo energy and Aries energy as well. A lot of fire, like I said today. And then we have the 5 of the attachment and the need to take the mask off, which actually came up in the read of the Page of Wands, removing the mask at the end of the read. Okay, and that's the Hierophant. So the Emperor and the Hierophant have been coming up big today. So you have the Emperor, the Hierophant, and the Sun. And now here we have the root chakra with the 35 and the Wounded Warrior, Mary Magdalene energies. The Wounded Warrior is reversed. So there is surrender in this energy. Can't take it anymore physically. First chakra, Archangel Michael. So it's a real need to get grounded and work on their root chakra for the masculine. And then the underlying energy is the Sun again. So a lot of Sun energy. I was talking about the chakra system and the central Sun. So that's very significant. All right. So 1 is the Magician as well. The Magician and the Sun and the central Sun. Like those 3 energies. And then we had... these 3 came up first, and then the first chakra. So we have these energies together. The 4, the 5, and the 19. The Emperor and the Hierophant and the Sun. The Hierophant's the one removing their mask. The Emperor's the one stabilizing the family. Or destabilizing. And he's upright, though, in the read. So the Hierophant's reversed. So the Hierophant may not be removing the mask. However, the Page of Wands is. So if that's the same person, they're not doing it in the beginning under the Hierophant, but they are taking off the mask as the Page of Wands. So that was kind of interesting. And then the first chakra. Bringing up that chakra system. So it's kind of interesting because we're going from the central Sun, right, to the rainbow bridge, the family, to rest and rejuvenation. You see how it gets lower and lower and lower down to the root chakra. That's perfect. Root chakra, to the need to remove the mask in the 3D, rest and rejuvenation of being at center point, 0 point in the heart, going up the chakra system to the central Sun. So there's a couple different messages there for you guys. We'll do the crystal angels real quick, and I'll let you go. I will show you cards. And I'm being tested because my book keeps falling with the papers, and my card holder keeps falling into me as I'm doing this. There's definitely those little frustrations that are trying to trigger you today, for sure. I was feeling that a little bit earlier, too. And then I was cleaning off the table, and the ashes fell over. You know how that is. Oh, I just shuffled these all around. That's okay. I use these all upright, so it doesn't really matter how they come out. All right, so last card for you guys. What is the message for everyone here? What do they need to know? Last takeaway from this read. What was most important? All right, clear quartz came up here. Let yourself feel all your emotions. And that the crystal, I told you about the Vogel crystals, so you might want to check that out as well. The Vogel clear, they're really good ones. They're really expensive, but you can check that out online if you want to. They're high energy vibrators, so it helps you connect with really intense energies. So let yourself feel all of your emotions. Your entire rainbow spectrum of feelings is sending you important messages and guidance, which I got a lot today. And notice it says your entire rainbow spectrum, which is the chakra colors, which we talked about today. And then the clear quartz is like the diamond energy. Okay, so we have appetite coming up too. Progress, not perfection, which came up for my son, actually. Don't compare yourself to others or judge yourself. Instead, focus upon how far you've come and all that you've learned. Okay. And then the bottom of the deck is Emerald. It's coming up reversed, but I don't read these reversed, but you can take it reversed if that makes more sense to you. Ceremonies and celebrations is a time of important life passage, such as weddings, birthdays, graduations, or anniversaries. So this may be reversed because those parties are going to be canceled, okay? So sorry about that. All right, but that's coming up as Emerald, so it's just saying to focus on your heart. When you're disappointed by something being canceled, just focus on your heart space. Or if you have an emerald, wear the emerald. Okay? So that's everything. Let me just show you the cards, and then we'll be all set. All right, underlying energy. energies, Master of Chalices, the King of Cups reversed. Recent past, the Ten of Swords upright today. The foundation here is the Nine of Orbs, reversed, but for me that's more chronic. For me it's pretty much the same either way. Solar deity in the middle of the sun being upright, the Ten of Crystals or Ten of Pentacles as the challenge. The other underlying energies there, and then the crowning position, as I told you, is the Six of Cups, and I love that card, it's beautiful. Scrolling across the 4D bridge to the Hangman, who's awake today. So that's reversed. And the masculine seeing himself as the Six of Orbs, which is reversed, so not at peace. Can't find a peaceful place to go either, because he's stuck with kids, looks like. And or just can be younger energies, people they're with. We have around the masculine, or how he's seen, as the Ace of Swords reversed, so that's that split lie, BS energy. And then we have the blocks he needs to clear, or as it came up in the chakra system we described from her website, was calling the blocks perversions, okay? It's another way of looking at it. So the blocks of the masculine is the Three of Cups reversed, and then we look at the cards, we have purple and orange, which is the sacral, a lot of sacral chakra energies, which is a lot of fire today too. And then the third eye, need for time out and music. And then we end up on the Starseed, which is the Fool upright, really powerful and positive. And then we have the Eight of Cups reversed though, so not walking away, but actually sitting in uncomfortable feelings. And then we have that Page of Wands reversed, which is removing the mask. The Knight of Pentacles reversed, which may just be choosing to not do any work or be still. And then we have the Moon reversed, which is the new moon today. And then the Page of Cups upright, all right, which is opening their heart to connect in that very loving energy there under the bridge, okay? And this underlying energy is blue and chakra and sacral chakra. So blue and sacral, and then getting even more sacral with all the fire energy today, along with the purple. So need to go into meditation, okay, and take a time out and music. So make sure you drink your water, get your rest. You know the drill. Get your joy, get your nature, and take a deep breath. Take another one. Take another one. Rise and be loved.